Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League Spike Magazine Trophy. We're getting to the conclusion of Week 3 this weekend. 2 games left in the week before we kick off round 4 of 9 in this competition. And tonight, it's going to be a pretty fun one. Tonight, we're going to have the Discomancers versus the PipStars, Ian versus Dead Fred, Necromantic Horror versus Lizardman. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at the 2 teams this evening. Division A all wrapped up for the week, and in first place is the MAML Nightmare, coached by Festung. They're a Necromantic Horror team. They're 2-1-0. Followed by Chimes Conspicuous Disunion, also a Necro team. They're 2-0-0. And Moobs NC Snakes in third place, a Dark Elf team, also 2-0-0. All 3 teams undefeated so far. 2 games left in Division B for this week, and in first place is Berserker Tempest's Vesuvian Lavabacks, a Lizardman team. They're 2-0-1. They are followed by the Discomancers, Ian's Necro team. They're up tonight. They're 1-1-0. They're looking to advance into first place here at the end of the week. And S Beaver's Remnants of Valor are in third, a human team. They're 1-1-1. And over in Division C, we have Ajax's the Fishy Fiends in first place. They're a Chaos Renegades team. They're 2-1-0. They're followed by the Necro of the Goodest Boys Strike Back, coached by Old Gamer Mike. They are also 2-1-0. Just 2 touchdowns separates those 2 teams. And in third place, another Lizard team. This one's Philosopher's Song, coached by Spire. They are 2-0-0. Moob says, I just lost the there it is. Moon says, okay, I'm really liking Expedition 33. Even the music is great. Yes, that game is absolutely fantastic. I love that game so much. Welcome to the stream, everybody. The home team tonight is going to be the Discomancers, coached by Ian. They have 11 players on this roster. They're not going to be fielding the number 3 Ghoul Runner LaFreak here, out with an injury. In fact, this is LaFreak's second injury. 2 serious injuries on this Ghoul Runner means this Ghoul Runner is even more fragile if they're going to remain on the roster. 1,285,000 gold is the team value, plus 40k for a journeyman. That's going to bring them up to 1,325,000 gold. They have 2 flesh golems, just the 1 Ghoul Runner, 2 werewolves, 2 wraiths, and they'll have 4 linemen on the roster. 1 yes sir, 1 cheerleader, 5 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against the Lizards of none other than the PipStars, coached by Dead Fred. They have 12 on the roster this evening. That brings their TV to 1,350,000 gold. 25,000 gold in petty cash will be going back to the Necro team this evening. Not a lot to talk about there. Not a lot they can purchase with that. The 1 Crocs on the roster, all 4 Saurus blockers, and a bunch of skinks. One's a chameleon, and one is none other than the Hall of Famer himself, Pips Pippy, wearing number 1 for the PipStars. 1 apothecary, 3 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. This Lizard team tonight has a number of Sauruses with the block skill. Dead Fred's done a great job of spreading out that SPP to pick up block as soon as possible on these Sauruses. Also has Mighty Blow on El Bandito, and of course Mighty Blow on the Crocs. This Lizard team is going to be playing a bit of a bash game, I think, here this evening. They do have 5 skinks on the roster, of course. As always with a Lizard team, they have to protect those skinks, because once they remove them, there's no one left to carry the ball. Another problem they're going to have to consider is they need to watch out that these Sauruses do not get marked out of the drive. They have an edge of 5+, and he's up against a team that has some speed behind it. The 2 werewolves are an MA8, just the 1 Ghoul Runner that's an MA7, but they can get by you pretty quickly. Of course, you can keep that secondary in check with these skinks, but the skinks are only a strength of 2. They're only an AV of 8+, and most don't have the block skill. So you really want to make sure you can get these Sauruses into the drive, and that in turn means that you need to make sure that your opponent is not marking them so that they can't get into the drive, right? Just 1 player, you throw a player on a Saurus, and the only way they're going to move reliably is if they blitz away, and if you think that Saurus is a blitzing threat, just mark them with 2 players, right? So it can be tricky coaching a Lizard team, especially at the lower TV value, but now Dead Fred has picked up a number of skills. They can play a bit of a bash game with the Saurus team. If they leverage those Sauruses on the line, they can start to try to get that player removal while controlling center pitch, force the opposing team on offense to commit to a left or to the right of the pitch in either one of those wide zones, and then they can start to play real defense. They can move the Skinks up. They're very fast. They can get to wherever they need to be. He could try to free up a Saurus, get him into position for a blitz, maybe for a block, and then start to lock down the pitch. That might, I think that's the option for the Lizardmen team tonight. They're going to be up against this Necro team that has a lot of speed and a lot of terror in these werewolves, right? So these two werewolves, very, very fast MA8. They have Claw. They're treating everybody's AV as 8+. That can be devastating to this Lizard team. It won't be an effect for the Skinks, but will absolutely be an effect for the Sarses and the Crocs. Block, dodge, frenzy. One has tackle as well. Pup Funkadelic is almost certainly going to be the go-to blitzer for this team tonight. But the tricky thing with the Necro team is that they've only got the 3 ball carriers on this roster, right? The 2 werewolves and the Ghoul Runner. The werewolves, great ball carriers, but you also want to be leveraging for those blitzes, right? They're great pieces to remove opposing pieces from the field. And if you're doing that, you have to follow up with your frenzy. You might be in a bad spot. Now you need to make a 3+ dodge. Sure, you have the dodge skill, but if you're up against somebody with tackle, yada, 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 it's very difficult with these werewolves to both keep them safe and leverage them. And if they're your ball carrier, then you need to think about, well, do I want to blitz with my ball carrier? And if so, how do I keep the ball carrier safe? So it can be a little tricky here for Ian as well. They're down the Ghoul Runner. I think that hurts them fairly significantly. It's LaFreak here, not just because of the skills on this player, block, dodge, sidestep, and sure hands, but just the fact that you're losing another one of those pieces. You only have 4 on the pitch. Very similar problem to the Lizard team. You only have the full 4 ball carriers. Otherwise, you're in a little bit of a predicament. Nobody with Mighty Blow on this roster. They have a little bit of pitch control here with the 2 Flesh Golems at strength 4. They do have a kicker. The kicker may come into effect here in this game. It'll depend on how the game shapes up. So the Discomancers, if they're down a touchdown, they can, and they're kicking, maybe they scored and now they're kicking. They can kick that ball very shallow and then try to engage on the line, force those Skinks to either be out of the drive for a turn or force them up to the line, and then he can start battering those Skinks and fighting for the ball. That's an option with kicker. Kicker's a pretty good skill that I think especially newer coaches will sleep on. Just the fact that you can make that kick very accurate as opposed to just wildly random. It's a good skill to have. So the Skinks, the Werewolves, the Ghoul Runner, all the targets in tonight's game. Watch out for them. 25,000 gold. Not going to be a whole lot to talk about there. Maybe an extra coach. But this is going to be a fun one tonight. These are 2 teams that are tricky teams, and when you have a tricky team to play by itself, and you're up against an opponent that has a tricky team to play by itself, very interesting things can happen on the pitch, right? It's not like dwarf versus elf, where you know what the dwarves are doing, you know what the elves are doing, and they're both just going to try to do that better than their opponent. These are 2 teams that, I've got the werewolf, I want to be blitzing, but I don't want him to be put out there to get fouled. I've got my Skinks, I got to keep them safe, because if I don't, they're my only ball carriers, but otherwise I'm really bashy. Very, very interesting, I think. So we'll see how this plays out in this matchup. Again, 25,000 gold going to the Discomancers in petty cash this evening. Move says, oh man, I was going to say how much I hate rosters that don't group their positional linemen together, but then I noticed it was Pips Pippy at the top, and that's acceptable. That's right. That's right. That number dedicated to Pips. Clear skies for the game this evening. Not so trusty patches. Move, Ajax. Black Wolf, Nerf. Welcome all to the stream. One more game to play here in week number 3. That'll be played tomorrow night. And that'll be between the Believe Broncos and the Gunner Gets. BB Nut versus Cobblestorm. That's going to be Nurgle versus Goblins. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. The Believe Broncos, coached by BB Nut, of course, the current Chaos Cup champions. Lots of money to be picked up in the game here for both these coaches tonight. Fan factor very important in this version of the rules. Discomancers win the coin toss, and they're going to choose to be on defense to start. Warmaster 1969, welcome to the stream. Cheering for the Discomancers. They're going to set up in columns against the Lizards. Keeping up the 2 sidelines. All right, 5 on the line for the PipStars here. And Black Wolf cheering for the Lizards. Let's go PipStars. Pips Pippy himself. What's his name? Bootsy Kazoo. Bootsy Kazoo. Pips Pippy, the #1 skink runner on the roster, level 3. He's a blodger with sidestep. Here's the kick. Remember, the Discomancers do have a kicker. So it is indeed going to be a shallow kick. Going to fight for this ball right on the line of scrimmage over on the right wide zone. We'll see if the ball even stays on the pitch here. Ends up being kicked onto the sideline. There's a 3/8 chance it goes out of bounds. And if it does, it's going to be a touchback. On the ball triggers. There, it's out of bounds. So the Discomancers tried to fight for this ball early. It's not going to happen. It's going to go in the hands of one of these skinks for free. And then the game will begin here on turn #1. Now the question for the PipStars is, whose hands is it going to be? I mean, it's got to be Pips Pippy, right? No, he's going to put it in the hands of Drippy Esquire. Formerly a lawyer, decided he had a better career in Blood Bowl. This is the #10 rookie skink runner. So the ball now all the way back on the 18-yard line. That's not the 18. That's the 16. 2-dive block on the left defensive end here. Grave Robin Gibbs going to be knocked down by Get Wrecked. Two-dive block by Sir Crocs-a-Lot gets the knockdown here as well on the right side of the defensive line. One more block to take on the line. Probably won't take it. If it's going to be with the Crocs, he won't take it yet. He'll reposition. Well, I don't know why he hasn't repositioned first. Might just like his positioning as it is. Takes the block. Fails that boneheaded roll, so won't spend the reroll. And now the Crocs here at center field no longer has tackle zones. Loses his action, loses his tackle zones. That's the negative trait on the Crocs, boneheaded. Has to roll a d6 before he activates. Fails on a 1. 32 seconds to go here for the PipStars. They have 2 rerolls and a bribe after the Get the Ref kickoff event. Double pals on breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. 8+ will break armor with Mighty Blow on El Bandito, trying to get rid of one of these Wraiths. They're so annoying. There it is. Only gets a stun. They're annoying because they have sidestep and they have foul appearance. Unless they're on your team, then they're awesome. PipStars dip it into the bonus clock here on turn #1. And now moving the ball up to the 6-yard line. Remember, this Crocs has lost his tackle zones here. And Sir Crocs-a-Lot could end up marked. Turn 1 for the Discomancers. So these werewolves are going to be putting in a lot of work. These are the ones in green, that green circle. Doesn't he have 2 wolves? Where's the other wolf? Oh, there he is. Sorry, did I say green? The green is the ghoul runner. I'm sorry. The wolves are purple. They're right here. Minute 22 to go for the Discomancers. Considering their options, they stand up their line. So now Sir Crocs-a-Lot is marked. Green? Purple? Close enough. Cease, welcome to the stream. Festoon, welcome to the stream. Festoon generously failing, lowering the rush failure rate from 900% to 99%. Mark taking on the left side, going for the blitz on Trixie O'Reilly. Gets a push, frenzy follow-up. Gets a knockdown here. 8+, remember, with claws. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. Had to follow up with the werewolf, but now the werewolf marked by Chompy McChompface. This is what we were talking about in the pregame. Can be very, very tricky. Bad Dog, welcome to the stream. Demanding death. I mean, there's a bunch of strike 2 AV8 on the pitch. One way or another, whether it's a skink or whether it's a werewolf block. Two-die block gets Sir Crocs a lot. Gets a push out of this. I didn't see the graphic. I don't know why the graphic didn't show. Turn 2 for the PipStars. They're going to advance the ball forward first, and now on the 4-yard line. Remember, the Crocs remains boneheaded until they pass a boneheaded roll. Bad Duck says, "What a glorious day! We have a telestrator of doom." Two-line block over the right wide zone. Gets a push against Andy Gibb. Here's the blitz on Buried Gibb. Gets the knockdown here. Looking for a 9+. Two-die against Stand Alive. Gets a pal. Breaks up. So sorry, Stand Alive. Sorry, buddy. One-man player advantage for the PipStars. Permanent removal of that flesh column. Pretty good removal here for the PipStars. Regen fake skill. Crocs back in the game here. Advances across the line of scrimmage to the opposing 2-yard line. PipStars back on the bonus clock. Resetting a very broad cage to keep the ball carrier safe, to keep the offense spread wide and give lots of movement options on the run. Turn 2 now for the Discomancers. You can see here the Discomancers do not have an apothecary, and that's because they're a regen team. Regen teams do not get an apothecary. In lieu of an apothecary, they get the opportunity to resurrect murdered opponents to play for them. So if they're strength 4, if they're not stunty, something else, I think, and you kill them, then they will play for you immediately. They'll go into your reserve box as a zombie, and they're now your teammate. Minute 12 to go here for the Discomancers. Applying some early pressure here. You can see he's trying to lock down these Sauruses and then go after these Skinks. Apply some pressure to the ball, leaving his secondary intact here. If a Skink gets away, he's fine with that. He's got The Wraith with MA6, he has this Werewolf with MA8. He can absolutely catch the Skink, get in on the 2-die block. There's the Blitz on Pips. Come on, it's Pips Pippy. That's a push. You'll be lucky if you don't get double skulls on this follow-up. Please. Trying to knock down Pips Pippy. He doesn't care. He can't break his armor. It's not going to happen. Yeah, come on. Get real. Get real, Pup Funkadelic. That's Pips Pippy. Call me when you're in the Hall of Fame. Oh, he's fouling Pips! No! Breaks the armor of Pips Pippy. Gets a stun out of this. Pips can take it. He's a professional. Pressure on the right side here by Saturday Night Retriever. Turn 3 for the PipStars. PipStars with a one-man player advantage currently. Got rid of one of those flesh columns. Flesh columns with a strength of 4. They also have stand firm. That means they don't have to get pushed back on a block. Pretty solid pieces on the roster. 2-die block gets things started at midfield here. Get wrecked to knock down Grave Robbing Gib. Breaks armor. Gets a KO. Well done. And now a 2-man player advantage for the PipStars. So playing a bit of this bashy game that we talked about in the pregame. Trying to get these removals. Controlling center pitch. It's allowing these Sauruses to not just take their blocks, but actually be effective other than just removing pieces. He's controlling center pitch. Slowly moving this line down pitch. Still needs to be a little bit wary of this pressure. But not in a bad spot. Now, all the fast pieces behind the ball carrier right now. Tight cage set up at the PipStars 2-yard line. The Crocs on the front left corner. I imagine that Crocs not going to activate this turn. Doesn't want to risk that boneheaded roll. 2-die block over on the right side here. Sir Crocs a lot. It's going to knock down the number 8 Wraith. Wraith sidesteps to the... Oh, he did bonehead the Crocs! Still has that corner covered with Chompy McChompface. Oh, boneheads the Crocs. That Crocs no longer exerting tackle zones. Good 3+ dodge by by Scoops McAdoo. McAdoo? Maybe it's McAdoo. Turn 3 for the Discomancers. Scoops McAdoo. I don't know why I find the name Scoops so funny. Now the Werewolf trampling back across the line of scrimmage to play some defense in front of these Lizards. Positioning very important. One of the many things that are very important in the game of Blood Bowl, and that's one of the reasons why speed is so good. Like, just being able to be wherever you need to be in a moment's notice. Very, very strong. Two-die block on Tailgater is an 8+ by Pup Funkadelic, and now there's a mark on the ball carrier. 20 seconds to go here in turn 3. Discomancers pressure. They've gotten in on the cage. And now have a mark on the ball carrier. Remember now, this ball carrier marked by the werewolf with tackle. If this ball carrier is going to dodge away, which he may very well do, then he's not going to get the free reroll here. Good. Good block here on the front right corner of the cage. And now the skink has currently nowhere to dodge that doesn't have a negative modifier applied. Turn 4 for the PipStars. And again, they do not get the free reroll due to dodge, thanks to Pup Funkadelic's tackle skill. Pippy stands up, takes a mark on Disco Stud. That's currently a 2-die block against Disco Stud with no block skill. Trixie O'Reilly will be the one to take the block at some point in this turn. Stand up blitz on Pup Funkadelic. Gets a dodge push out of this. Now the ball carrier will get their free reroll on the dodge. Still no positive dodge angle to take. -1 here, -1 here, -1 here, and -1 here. Two-die on Maurice Gibb, a little bit further down pitch, gets a push out of this. Taking the blocks, trying to get this defense to take a step back here, but when you take the blocks, you push them away and don't capitalize on that. The defense could just stand right back up and get right back in your face, hoping for some armor breaks. Now the ball carrier has a direction to go here. Freely, no longer marked by any piece. The Crocs on the block against Buried Gibb will be a push. Still on the bonus clock with a few blocks to take. 3 by my count. Here's the first one. Trixie O'Reilly gets a pow on Pup Funkadelic. Looking for that 9+. Would love to remove this werewolf. Doesn't get it. Oh, down to 1 block. El Bandito with the mighty blow block against Andy Gibb coming up. Takes it against Break Into Electric Boogaloo instead. Wants to try to get rid of this Wraith rather than the kicker. And he did it. Well done. Taking the block against somebody with sidestep, always a little tricky. You have to consider whether that sidestep's going to put that player in a worse position for you. Got the removal here. Regen did kick in, so that Wraith will return on the next drive. Any piece or any player that has the regen skill, when they eat a casualty, they'll roll a d6. And on a 4+, that's a 50-50. On a 4+, they don't actually eat the casualty. They just go right back into the reserve box. Final turn of the first quarter here. The Discomancers blocking Pippy. Shameful. Shameful how you think you're on the same level as Pippy. I can't. Disco Stud. Come on. Come on. Like, you're just trying for glory at this point. Pips has your number. 2-die block. Maurice Gibb against Chompy McChompface. Breaks armor! Oh, gets a stun out of it. Always scary when you get an armor, or when one of your Sauruses has their armor broken. Stands up Werewolf Blitz against Scoops. Mega-Dude. Gets a push, 2-die Frenzy follow up into another push. Scoops. Spends the reroll. Wanted the knockdown here. Got the knockdown. 8+ will break armor. It doesn't get it. I just fought the first boss in Death Stranding 2. And it was hard. It was so hard. I was getting very sour. And the worst part is it does this thing. I understand why it's there, but it grates on me. It does this thing where, like, after you lose, it gives you an option. It says, pretend you won. So you can just skip the boss fight entirely. But, like, I look at that as, the way I interpret it is like, pretend you won, loser. And so I never select it. No shade on anyone who does select it. But every time I see it, I'm just like, get out of my face. Second quarter begins, turn 5 for the PipStars. Gets started with the 2-die block over on the right side here, looking for an 8+. Follows up on the block, trying to get some space in order to move this ball down pitch. 4 turns, get on the board. Now a 2-die against Maurice Gibb. This will be a both standing result or a push. He'll take the push. The game, I think it was BB Nut that said the game's more like Metal Gear Solid, and it really is. Like, they really went all in on, like, I mean, it's Metal Gear. It's all in on the sneaking around / shooting people in the face stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of that in the first game. I mean, there was a significant amount, but the first game was more like avoiding fights. And just and avoiding, like, the BTs, the ghosts and stuff. So far, I'm like 4 hours in. I'm pretty early in, and I've murdered like 30 people. Crocs now moves forward over in the right wide zone, takes a mark against Saturday Night Retriever. PipStars now advancing significantly down pitch. Looks like they're going to move this ball over into the right wide zone. There it goes. Has the ball on the opposing 8-yard line now. Staring down Saturday Night Retriever over to the left side. 2-die block against Electric Slide back across the line of scrimmage. Gets a push out of this. So took the push, allowing the sidestep rather than just taking the both standing result and leaving the Wraith where they were. .430 left on the clock for the PipStars. They still have 2 rerolls. Good dodge by Pips Pippy to get all the way down to the 14-yard line. Not a problem for Pips. Another block against Electric Slide, and this will be another sidestep push. Turn 5 now for the Discomancers. They're on defense. The offense has finally cracked through this defense. Has committed to the right wide zone. So now the Discomancers aren't really in position to shut down this offense. They need to get their defense intact. This is the risk with getting aggressive. Getting aggressive is a fine tactic on defense, but when you do it, you gotta really make sure it works out, because if the offense gets away from you and they've got speed to really break away, it can be very difficult to get your defensive formation back together. The reason why the formation is so important, right, is because your whole job on defense is to be this line, right? You do not want this ball getting past this line into this end zone. And the way you do that is with tackle zones, right? So I've got a guy here, I've got a guy here, I've got a guy here, I have a guy here. Whatever it looks like, right? You can see you set up tackle zones, you set up layers of tackle zones to try to stop that ball from getting behind you. When you only have, say, a guy here, maybe a guy here, this isn't stopping anyone, right? Right? You can go this way, there's a lane this way. And so it can be very difficult to stop the score. Werewolf blitz. 2-die blitz on Drippy, the ball carrier. Gets a push, re-rolls it into another push. And now the frenzy follow-up. 1-die on the frenzy follow-up. That is going to be a push unless the re-roll is spent. He's going to use it. It's a skull! Pup Funkadelic trying to blitz down the ball carrier. Spends 2 re-rolls to end up with a skull. Turn 6 for the PipStars now. They can score right now if they wish. Failed follow-up on the frenzy there. You have to follow up with frenzy and take that second block if you can. 2-die turned into a 1-die, and that turned into a skull. Spire says, Telestrator of Doom is out of stock and you didn't that? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Failed the rush by Chompy McChompface. Oh! Chompy McChompface on the failed rush. Turn 6 for the Discomancers now. Chompy McChompface, your job is to punch. It is not to rush. Oh! Oh, and just like that, it's a null turn. Boogie Feverish, the number 4 Ghoul Runner, fails the dodge away from Piss Pippy. You know why? Cause it's Pips! Pippy! And now the PipStars are gonna park that ball on the 24 and keep this safe for a turn. They'll score in turn 8. Try to dodge away from Pips Pippy. Are you kidding me? Move says, I want to see both wolves served, including the down one via chain pushes. That would have been that would have been amazing. Good 3+ dodge by Scoops McAdoo. I want French fries. What does Telestrator of Doom out of stock mean? Like, does it not work? Is there something I'm not understanding? I mean, I am an idiot. So there is that. You'll have to bear with my idiocy. 2-die on Saturday Night Retriever. Both standing result here against the, well, I guess it does work. 14 seconds to go here. Gets a both standing result on the block against Saturday Night Retriever. The audacity dodging away from Pit. Look, If you are based by... Spire says, yeah, it can't be activated. It says out of stock. I'll take a look. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I'm sure it's a configuration thing that I did. Double skulls here on the block against Belectric Slide. Spends rerolls into a knockdown. If you ever find yourself based by Pips Pippy, you you should just fall down on your own. Like, to dodge away is so disrespectful. Oh, it's Pips. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Let me break my own legs for you. That's how that should go down. Because you don't want Pips Pippy breaking your legs. Armor break on the Wraith. Could be a pretty good armor break here. No, only got a stun out of it. PipStars with no rerolls remaining. The old Skink Cage protecting the ball carrier here, looking for an extra 3 SPP to pick up on Drips Drippy Esquire. 3-die block on Saturday Night Retriever. Only gets a dodge push out of this. Turn 7 for the Discomancers. Defense has been split apart here. Probably go for the blitz and take a mark on the ball carrier. Here's the blitz. Good dodge. 2-die blitz. Not when you fail the rush. That's a turnover. PipStars will walk the ball in here to take the lead 1-0. Oh, is he going to roll dice? Are you going to tempt fate like that? Are you going to spit in the face of Nuffle with no rerolls? Failed the rush. I mean, why wouldn't you? It fails 900% of the time. Festoon says, but I lowered the rush failure rate, Nuffle. Nuffle's will is unknowable. Spire said, if only it had died on the failed rush. 1-0 the score, and PipStars take the lead in this game. Well done. Well done. KO doesn't come back for the Discomancers. Late score in the half here for the offense to score. Very well done. Late TD, I should say. And now the PipStars will set up their defense. They're going to put all those skinks all the way back on the 22 just to keep them safe. If there's a timeout, the Discomancers could get on the board and really change the state of this game. Moob said, needed to blitz the Chameleon. Sidestep meant he was never going to base the ball carrier, though with a failed rush didn't matter. Oh, fair point. Fair point. The Discomancers to set up their offense. They're going to set Saturday Night Retriever up on the line over in the left wide zone just in case they can make this happen. Move says, I'm so happy there are no lizards in Division A. I have one lizard team in my division, but I'll take that over the 3 I had in the Chaos Cup. Eight of the 9 players on the line here for the Discomancers. Boogie Feverish back to receive. The Lizardman team does not have a kicker. Brilliant coaching means the Discomancers are going to earn a reroll. They could use it. Turn 8. Can't get into the end zone unless I'm missing something. So they're going to take some blocks on the line here and try to pick up some SPP and maybe put themselves in a better position for the second half of this game. Five lizards to take blocks on. Here's the second block. This will be a push against El Bandito. Electric slide. The left guard taking the block. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was Electric Slide, the center, taking the block. Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, of course, is the left guard. And now a 2-dagger on the right against Get Wrecked. Another push on the line here. Good action order by Ian. Taking the blocks, players with the block skill first. Now down to no more block skills other than the Wraith taking a block against El Bandito. We'll still have a blitz as well. And probably going to take the blitz with Saturday Night Retriever. There it is. Oh, interesting blitz here. So he's going to take the blitz for the 2-die against El Bandito to try to set up and guarantee the 2-die on the follow-up. Why is that a 1? Oh, this guy. Tailgater. That's why. Boy, just can't knock any of these lizards down. Blitz has been spent, and that'll be the turn. Didn't even bother to pick up the ball and try to get some SPP on the pass. 1-0 the score. The Discomancers will be on offense yet again here. Or really for the first time properly in this game. And now, of course, Ian, why does it leap in like that? What's going on? Is that my mouse or is that the game? Ian has a decision to make. Play for the draw, play for the win. Probably, well, it's going to... We'll see how the drive plays out. If he can get a couple of good removals here, he might just try to play for the win. Still doesn't pick up Grave Robbing Gibb, so it's going to be 9 on the pitch yet again. A 2-man... 5, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 2-man player advantage for the PipStars. If the PipStars win this game, they will leap into first place in Division B. Of course, the same true for the Discomancers. They are in second place. They have 4 points as opposed to the number 1 team with 6 points. PipStars setting up an interesting defensive formation here. 30 seconds left to set up, and just under 3 minutes on the bonus clock remaining for the game. So very, very interesting defense here. They have all 4 skinks grouped up behind the Sarses. The Sarses almost setting up a pocket for those skinks and giving up both wide zones here as well. Maybe a bit of a gambit to goad the Discomancers to commit early to score, and then the Lizards will get back the ball and try to win 2-1. You know, Dead Fred, Ian did the courtesy of hiring a cheerleader. I'm just saying. Here's the kick. It's going to be a high kick. Going to try to recover this ball with Boogie Feverish, it looks like. Well, may try to get in the hands of a werewolf. Nope. Boogie Feverish will not be able to pick up the ball on the 50-50. It'll be a 3+ to pick it up off the ground. Turn 9 now for the Discomancers. Takes a mark over in the left wide zone with the number 8 Wraith. Remember, those Wraiths, even just taking marks, can be a pest because of foul appearance. 2 marks on the right side here. Going to try to blitz with Saturday Night Retriever. Pulls in the Wraith in the right wide zone, back onto the line here to lend a hand on the blocks against this defensive line. Here's that blitz over in the left wide zone. Gets the POW against Sir Crocs a lot. Again, just an 8+ is what he needs with the ball. But can't get it. Rolled a 4. $53 seconds to go here in turn number 9. Discomancers back up to 3 rerolls. That's plenty for the half. And now we're over to the line. The right defensive end knocked down by Disco Stud. No armor break. Two die against Get Wrecked again. No armor break here. Is just going to get a push. Decides to follow up and take some mighty marks. Mari Skib, the number 9 lineman with the block skill, currently marked by Gatorade, the Crocs, Get Wrecked, the Saurus blocker, and Tailgater, the Saurus blocker. Both Saurus blockers have the block skill. Discomancers on the bonus clock. Good pickup this time after the failed catch on the kickoff. They're going to move the ball up just a couple of spaces to the 18-yard line, just outside that left wide zone. Moves it up one more space to the 16. Nobody using their bribes yet. Nuffle granted those bribes at the beginning of the game, and to not use them, to snub Nuffle's gift like that. I mean, you're gonna incur Nuffle's wrath. That's on you. That's on you. Nuffle does a kind thing. So disrespectful. Says, I heard you were feeling glum. Here's a bribe. Cheer yourself up. And you say, yeah, thanks, Nuffle. And then you just like put it in your glove compartment in the car. And you're like, I don't know. I didn't want a bribe. I wanted a Nintendo Switch 2. So disrespectful. Armor break on the line. KO on the right guard here. So that's a 3-man player advantage now for the PipStars. Oh boy, opens up that lane. Drips Drippy, Esquire to mark the ball carrier. Very well done. Got the knockdown, and now here come the parade of skinks. Every town has an annual skink parade, right? $20 seconds to go. PipStars trying to mark out the werewolf. PipStars back on the bonus clock. They're down to 2 minutes, 55 seconds. They're trying to mark out anybody who could be a problem at this point. They want to get some dice on the ball in this upcoming turn. They want to get some dice on the ball now on the rush. My goodness, 2-die block by Pips Pippy is just going to be a dodge push. The hero. You know what? I'm sorry, Pips Pippy, that I didn't believe you would rush. Of course you would rush. It's 900% for everyone else. But for Pips Pippy, 0%. 0%. Armor break by, I mean, that's more than an armor break. You just lost your torso. And I think 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 1. Are we at a 3-man player advantage now? So it's 10 v 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I kept saying I would do this, and I didn't. PipStars have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. While the Discomancers are down to 7. So 4-man player advantage now for the PipStars. The Discomancers in a bit of trouble here. Staring down 3 skinks, 1 with the block skill. They are not going to be able to get away from these skinks. Boogie Feverish, an MA of 7. The skinks have an MA of 8. They're going to have to position somebody between the skinks and the ball carrier, but I don't know where they're going to go. The rest of the offense is now behind Lizards. Great turn here for the defense. Discomancers might take some time on this turn. They're down to about 50 seconds. They have 6:03 on the bonus clock, and I think they might spend some of that trying to figure out how to get out of this quagmire. Successful knockdown on the line opened up that hole for those very fast skinks last turn to be able to get the 2-die block. Good 3+ dodge by Pup Funkadelic to get a knockdown on Drippy Esquire. Has to follow up, now marked by Pips Pippy. Don't try to dodge away from Pips Pippy. Pup Funkadelic with the tackle skill. Remember, anybody that tries to dodge away from the werewolf will not get the free reroll. That shuts down dodge entirely. So not only do you not get the free reroll on the dodge, but dodge doesn't save you on a oh. You know who you tried to look, what did I you know, you try to help people. Last half, I told you don't try to dodge away from Pips Pippy. It's Pips Pippy. Okay? You try to dodge from Pips Pippy, he's going to make you pay. He's going to make you pay. Ball on the ground now. On the 18-yard line, just off the left sideline. Pips Pippy, I suspect, will be the ball carrier here. Well, it's going to depend on if Dead Fred has the lead. Might try to get some SPP on somebody else. You can see Ian in the picture So the PipStars commanding with this defense, not really focusing down on the werewolves or the ghoul runner, but really just using fundamentals to get dice on the ball and to keep the rest of the team out of the drive. Great drive here for the PipStars, despite it only being turn 2 for them. So I think the PipStars, well, I don't know if they'll stall or not. If they try to get on the board, they'll go up 2-0. That's, of course, great. But then all 3 of those KOs are going to get their KO rolls. 1.5 will come back onto the pitch. By odds, anyway. Good 3+ pickup. 3+ pickup. Will Slim Scaly score this turn, or will he try to stall this out? He's going to try to stall it out, so Slim Scaly is going to hang out in the corner of the pitch here on the 24-yard line. He's got Pup Funkadelic marked on both sides orthogonally. That means Pup Funkadelic has nowhere to escape unless it's on a YOLO blitz. Taking the blocks back at across the line of scrimmage, but down to 90 seconds on the bonus clock. I don't know if this is worth the bonus time, but he is in the lead. And you do want to collect SPP where you can, so I don't think it's too much of a problem. Bad Dog says, on the half that comes back, is it the top bottom half or the left right half? What do you mean? Turn 11 for the Discomancers. Discomancers just... Oh, the KO. Top bottom half or left right half? Oh, I get it. I get it. I'm stupid. You see. It takes me a minute. Discomancers, they're gonna take the safe blocks first before trying something crazy down here at the ball carrier. Saturday Night Retriever takes a mark on Chompy, McChompface, and Gatorade. And now a 2-die against Drippy on the Blitz. Gets a POW. Has to follow up. Breaks armor. Gets a KO. See if he can make anything happen here. Good positioning with Pup. Funkadelic. Take a mark on the ball carrier. So blitzes away to safety and spends that massive movement to go around the right side here to take a mark so that the ball carrier can't just freely dodge away. That tackle skill's in effect. It's a -1 to dodge away as well. There's still plenty of skinks around, but Boogie Feverish marking both of them. So I think it's probably going to be a blitz by Get Wrecked. Moob says, surf that wolf! Surf that wolf! It can absolutely happen. I hope he surfs the wolf for the touchdown. Gets an assist against Boogie Feverish. Here's the 2-die. Pips Pippy on the block. Gets a push. It means Pips is not gonna block Pup Funkadelic. So it looks like he's gonna move up Bootsy Kazoo. Yep. Here's the 2-die blitz. Got the POW on the wolf. See what the result is here. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to whoever that. Look, I drew that so long ago. Okay. Thankfully for the Discomancers, regen kicks in, but otherwise that was a dead wolf. Murdered a wolf. Regen, but does get 2 SPP for Bootsy Kazoo. And now that that wolf is off the pitch, the PipStars may continue to stall this out. Boo, Regen, boo. Another armor break coming up. Gets a stun, 2-die block with 49 seconds on the bonus clock. Another POW here, this time against the number 7 Wraith. Another armor break. Boy, what a turn. What a turn this has been. Regen kicks in once again, but still earns the 2 SPP for the casualty. Turn 12 for the Discomancers. What a turn that was for the PipStars. Just fouls straight out of the gate. How many are left on the pitch? 5? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 left on the pitch. So 5-man player advantage. Did I count that right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. There it is. 5-man player advantage now for the PipStars. Spire says, surf that ghoul. Uphill block by Chompy McChompface. We'll get a push out of this. Or against Chompy McChompface, I should say. Saturday Night Retriever on the blitz. Just looking for some SPP at this point. I don't know what the Discomancers can reasonably do here. They're going to advance the Boogie Fever onto the lot. Yeah, I was going to say onto the sideline. Ian realizes the mistake and says, never mind. Turn 12 for the PipStars now. So the PipStars, I mean, they have surf options. They can go about this a couple of ways here. So they could, if they want to surf this ghoul, right, they could come in on the blitz, push the ghoul here, and then cover this space. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Did I block? Look at a dodge push out of it. Aridus demanding death. Yeah, here's the setup for the surf. Does he have any movement left with the blitzer? Let's see. He's going to stay put, so I think he does. Yeah. So he's going to reposition the blitzer over here. Wait, what? Oh, did he not use the dodge kill? No, that's very smart. Very smart by Ian here. I would have taken the push result instead. He took the defender stumbles result. Remember, most skills in Blood Bowl are optional. So Ian said, you know what? I'm not going to stay on my feet. I'm going to get knocked down so you can't surf me. But now with such a significant player advantage and a bribe that Dead Fred surely will thank Knuffle for, goes for the foul here. 2 assists on the foul. That was a 6+ to break armor, but didn't get it. Doesn't get called off the pitch. Blitzes the, or blocks the werewolf away to relative safety here. We'll see if the Crocs comes in to try to pin the wolf. SP Beaver says maybe he was just hoping for the SPP with an injury over the surf. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So he wouldn't get the SPP on the surf. Fourth and final quarter begins. The Discomancers are down 0-1, 0-2 imminently, and I don't see how they get out of this predicament. Is it going to foul Sir Crocs a lot? Yeah, going to foul Sir Crocs a lot. But doesn't get anything out of it. Ref calls him out. Oh man. At least you got a spot next to this very happy cheerleader and the ref looking the other way. Goes in goes in on the foul, rolls snake eyes, gets called off by the ref. bribes the ref, and the ref says, get off the pitch. Spire prayed enough on behalf of Ian. Oh, man. Yeah, sometimes, man. 1 minute, 10 seconds left in turn 13. I couldn't have gone any worse. Did he get... Well, he could have. Did he get called off too? No, he didn't. So, so Ian is still in the game. Move says, I would 100% be trying to hand off to a Saurus for a Saurus SPP. So that's something that we should talk about. So these Sauruses, right? These skinks will tend to soak up all your SPP. We talked about in the pregame how it's important to get SPP on these Sauruses early and to spread it out amongst them because they start with no skills. Now, Deadfred has done a good job of that so far. And this would be a great opportunity to try to pick up some SPP and a significant amount of SPP on a Saurus. You have plenty of time left in the game. You have a significant player advantage. That ball is yours. You can spend a few turns trying to get that ball in the hands of a Saurus. The Saurus scores, and then they're picking up 3 SPP out of it. Two rushes. You know what? I'm going to hand it to Ian. So few players left on the pitch and still continuing to mark lizards. 4 players left on the pitch for the Discomancers. Here's the blitz. Over on the right side here. 2-die blitz against Tailgater. It's either a both standing result or a push. He's going to spend a team reroll instead. Oh, it's going to be a push. It's going to be a push into a 1-die. That's a skull. Finally gets the knockdown here on Tailgater. Breaks armor. Only gets a stun out of it. And now Saturday Night Retriever might be in trouble. Dodge, rush away. So that wasn't a 3+ dodge. That was a 4+ dodge because the Crocs has a prehensile tail here. This big old tail, you try to dodge away from it, your dodges are a -1. So that was a 50-50 dodge. And not only that, but on that blitz, remember that Werewolf with Frenzy has to follow up. It's a blitz, so each one of your blocks takes a point of SPP. So that dodge was a rush. So that was a 4+, 2+ to get to safety. Turn 14 for the PipStars. Comfortably sitting on the ball. Rushes into position to take a mark on the Wolf. Blitz on the Wolf. 2-die blitz. Got the POW. Looking to put some more hurt on the Discomancers. 8+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. There's the armor. Man, oh man. Oh man. What a death blow. Kills the Wolf. The Wolf does not regen. How much did I draw today? I am so sorry. Oh. What a 2 SPP to pick up. Murdered Saturday Night Retriever. A vicious game here. A crime scene committed by the lizards. Well, you know what? It's not a crime because you're just killing people who are undead anyway, so it's fine. Bad Dog says, he's dead, Jim. Can I request a division change before I have to play Pips? Oh, man. The Discomancers, who are they down? They're down to 3, right? Uphill block on Gatorade. That's a skull. Spends a reroll. The final reroll will be a push result. Boy, Ian, I give immense credit to Ian to continue to play through this rather than running players away. I would absolutely just be running away. Dude, I block. It's a push here on the uphill. So that's just 3 left on the pitch. Has pushed everybody away here, so he's not gonna be able to table the team by turn 16 unless he wants to give up the touchdown, which he absolutely doesn't want to do. We have yet to see a team get completely tabled in the league. We've come close. So it looks like the curse will not be broken here for the Discomancers. Dead Fred. These two teams have faced each other 5 times. Dead Fred has won 4 times, and it's been a draw once. And so Dead Fred's going to win again here tonight. Looks like the score will be 1-0. They have 2 turns left to get some more SPP out of this. Blitz someone here. Probably Buried Gib if he's looking for the SP. Oh, he doesn't have to blitz. Who just... Oh, Tailgater. I see. He would have to blitz. So it'll be an El Bandito blitz, probably against Buried Gib. It's not going to be Buried... Oh, it will be Buried Gib. Just because that's the easier player to knock down. So not taking it with Mighty Blow. Oh, is going to take it with Mighty Blow. Going to take it with the Crocs for the 3-die. Got the pal. Well done. Looking for an 8+. No armor break. Probably ends the turn with a foul against Boogie Feverish. I mean, he wants to... he wants to get the ball away from Boogie Feverish, I would think, right? Oh, he's just going to foul. Gets called off. Did he get any... Gets a stun. Bootsy Kazoo on the foul. The ref will take the bribe here. This works out. Gets another stun so the ball carrier can stay right where they are. "27 seconds left on the clock for the PipStars. They're on the bonus clock at this point. Final turn. Ian probably thinking, thankfully, the final turn of this game for the Discomancers. There'll be 1 turn left after this for the now offense. Uphill block against Gatorade. Gets a push out of this. And that's it. Turn 60 for the PipStars. They have 2 rerolls left. They could continue to block here before scoring and try to maximize their chances for SPP. It looks like they're going to do just that. The only consideration to make when taking these blocks is SPP is great, but more touchdowns will increase your lead on the leaderboard. So you are taking a... He's just going to... Yeah, you are taking a risk. And he decides it's not worth it. I'm just going to score. And that'll be the end of the game. 2-0. The PipStars win this one decisively. Congratulations to Dead Fred and the PipStars. That was a lot of fun. The PipStars now are going to advance into first place in Division B. They're going to finish perhaps in first place, but there's one game left in this week. We're going to check out the schedule right now before we leave. One more game left to be played here in week 3, and that will be tomorrow afternoon, June 29th at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC minus 4. Needs more skink leaders. 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC minus 4. And that will be the Believe Broncos versus the Goner Gets, BB Nut versus Cobblestorm, Nurgle versus Goblins. That will be an absolute blast. I'm very much looking forward to that. And that'll do it for week 3. After that game, week 4 will begin, and our coaches will begin scheduling their games. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML-CLUB here on .CLUB, excuse me. That's going to be a toxic game. Move says, GG to both. Tough luck on the Dead Wolf. Yeah, that was a great game. That was a great game. It was a lot of fun. Ian is a superlative sport. I love watching both those coaches play, and it was a ton of fun. Yeah, week 4 begins. Will begin after tomorrow, and you can check out that schedule on our website once again at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB. You can also check it out here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky X and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. You gotta play Blood Bowl, man. This game is hilarious. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks again to both coaches for playing. Thanks for watching the game with us here today. I hope to see you back here tomorrow. This game's fantastic. Take care and enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening.